Hi, this is Ms. McKenzie, your K-12 district teacher librarian, and this is a mini lesson from Mr. Johnson's class about how to use the EBSCO databases to find literary analysis articles for your Hamlet essay. So let's get started. All right, and I'm a former high school English teacher as well as a college English teacher. So if you ever need any assistance, just reach out. I'd be happy to help you. So you all get to choose the critical lens that you will be using to write your essay. And I understand you're not 100% completed with reading the play, but that's okay. You're getting a head start on a possible thesis statement, critical lens, and we'll be digging into EBSCO to find some articles to help out with your essay writing. So here are the overall requirements that Mr. Johnson has gone over with you. So 4 to 5 pages. You are specifically scored on your MLA format. You need to have textual evidence from the play in your essay, as well as articles written by experts. Okay, so here we go. There's your rubric. I love a good thorough rubric. You know exactly what's expected of you with this rubric for this essay. And okay, so using academic journals as a college and career readiness skill. And when I worked at writing centers at 2 separate universities, the #1 thing I saw students for was how to find articles, academic journal articles, and how to appropriately embed that into their writing. So if you get this down before you leave Siusla High School, you'll be set for college for sure. And research is a circular process, and I'm literally just going over step 3, locating and accessing resources. And we're going to head to the school district website. When you're on campus, you typically don't have to type in that username and password, but when you are off campus, you usually do. When we get inside of the databases, you have all these filters or ways you can limit your search down the left-hand side of the page. The top ways we always filter is by full text for sure. That means that every article you find is going to be a whole article. It's not going to send you out on the internet looking for the article. And we're going to select specifically academic journals. I'm also going to show you, I'm sure all of you are aware, but if you hit Control F on a computer, it will allow you to search words and phrases on the screen. And I use that all the time when I'm reading academic journals. Sometimes they're really long, like 20 to 30 pages long, and you're able to skim and see if the article has what you need by using that Control F. So let's hop to it. I'm going to go to the school district website, and then I'm going to hit more, library media services. And if you scroll down, we get to our library literacy resources. Now the Gale databases may have a couple of articles, but we're going to focus primarily on EBSCO. And EBSCO is, again, a college and career readiness database you should be familiar with. Our sign-in with Google isn't working quite yet. So we are going to, if it's asking you to on your computer, you're going to type in Siusla SD for a username and Siusla 97J exclamation point. All of that is lowercase. Sign in. And then if you want to search everything that EBSCO has to offer, you could click on this link right here, EBSCO host, but we purchased additional access to the Literary Reference Center, and it means that it's taking everything that EBSCO has to offer and then some, and kind of fine-tuning everything into one portal, specifically literary reference articles. Now we're on the home page. You can do a basic keyword search right up top, and why don't I just try Hamlet? Let's see what we come up with. You have all of these drop downs, but I'm just going to stick with Hamlet as a general keyword search. And when I do that, I get 2,164 hits. Now down the left-hand margin, we can start using our limiters. And we said we always limit by full text. We want to select academic journal. Sometimes the subject list is useful, sometimes it isn't. So here is that full text button. So you want to make sure you check that. And then we want literary criticism. Okay, so we're going to check literary criticism and let me see if there's anything else I want. Nope, I'm just going to go with that for right now and then update. So now I have 207 articles instead of 2,000. So you see how using the limiters or the filters are narrowing down your search to get just what you want to look at. Another way you can limit, which is pretty appropriate, is you can use the date slider. So right now it's pulling everything from 1976 to present. So let's say I just wanted articles written from 1990 to present. So you can drag that, little date slider around if you'd like. And now we've kind of gotten it down to a reasonable number of articles to start skimming. And, you know, you skim the title, you get a little tiny chunk of the abstract beneath the title. And let's see, one thing I wanted to show you the difference between the full article is actually a PDF, or some of them are HTML. So let me just open this up. So here's the record, there's the abstract. An abstract is just a brief summary of the professional academic journal article. Okay, and then the actual article itself is going to be full text, PDF full text right here. So I just want to open that up and show you what it looks like. All right, so Ophelia and Trauma Theory in Shakespeare's Hamlet. So let me go back out real quick, and I just want to show you the difference between that PDF full text, and then there's some of the articles are simply HTML full text. So it's not going to be a picture of the article out of the original publication. It is just text on the page. But one thing that's kind of nice about that is it gives you a couple of extra options. Like you can listen to your article, and there are a couple of other accessibility things that you're able to do with the HTML versus the PDF. Let me go back out, and I want to try doing an advanced search. So we pulled up a ton of Hamlet articles that are literary criticism. You all are applying a critical lens, and I've always been a feminist researcher, so I want to try that out and see what we come up with. So right underneath the search box, there's an advanced search button. So we're going to click that. I'm going to keep Hamlet in my first field, and I want to also pull up articles. Let's see, do I want to do feminism? Let's try feminism. And sometimes you have to tweak your search terms that you're putting in. So right now I want all articles in the Literary Reference Center that have the words Hamlet and feminism. And you can get even more specific, like in the whole entire body of the article or just in the title. I mean, you've got a lot of ways to filter and narrow, but I'm just going to do Hamlet and feminism and hit search and see what I come up with. We started out with 2,000 articles. Then we went down to 200 with our filtering. No, I'm down to 9. So let's skim some of these and see if they offer. I'm just looking at titles. You know, this is going to talk about some mythology, I bet. And opening that one up, look at the abstract. Ooh, it's chapter 3 of a book titled Shakespeare's Feminine Endings. And the author is presenting an examination of thematic representation of Greek mythology, EBSCO, and the works of William Shakespeare, particularly that of the tragedy of Hamlet. Okay, so there's a connection between EBSCO, the portrayal of tragic hero, and the femininity is explored. All right, so let's say that after reading the abstract, I'm like, I think I want to save this article. It might look promising. Here's where you can start using Control F to see what this article has to say about ideas you want to write about. So I hit Control F. I get that search box that pops up, and I typed in Hamlet already, and there are 102 references to Hamlet. They appear highlighted on the page, and I can just click down and see every time Hamlet is mentioned in this article. Okay, so using Control F, especially with academic journal articles, saves you a ton of time. All right, what does this article have to say about feminism? How about feminist? There are a couple of references to feminist theory. Okay, so there's 1, there's 2, there's 3. So you kind of get the idea of how to use the Control F to search an article to give you a better sense of what it's about without having to read the article word for word. And I say that because we're like in the hunter-gatherer phase of this project where we're just going into the databases, doing an initial search and scooping up articles that seem like they might be applicable. So let's say I decided, yes, I want to use this article for my essay. The next thing you want to do is zip this thing into your Google Drive. So on the right-hand margin, you can see that there's a little Google Drive button. You simply click that. You will select your Google account, and then it says your document has been saved. So I click OK. And then I always teach students to go back to your drive and actually find the article to make sure it made it there. One really super cool thing about the Gale databases is that it automatically creates an orange folder for you and puts the article inside. EBSCO does not do that. So usually I click the recent button, and then the articles I just saved should be right at the top. So there's that last one I opened up, and there it is, saved in my drive, ready for me to write my essay. I'm actually curious. I'm going to go back, and I'm wondering what it looks like when we save an HTML, if it actually transfers it into a Google Doc. Let's see. There's an HTML. I want to save it to my Google Drive. And OK. And then let's go back to your drive, and I'll do a refresh on recent. And what does that one look like? Stage mothers. Oh, ooh, let's open that with Google Docs, because that was a bunch of garbly-gook. Beautiful. So the HTML actually transfer into a Google Doc. When you're saving PDFs, it's just going to save as a PDF. And also, what's really nice about the HTML, you have your work cited in MLA format at the very top. The PDF articles will probably not have that. So let's go back and make sure everyone knows how to find our citations. So down the right-hand side, when we're on the article, we click Cite. And just like most databases, it's going to open up this text box. And you have all the different options. You know that in English class and most of the arts and humanities, we use modern language association style. And we're still working with the 8th edition. I think EBSCO is going to be updated with the 9th edition in January. So you can just copy and paste that link. And then if you do want a permalink, you might also want that just in case. And that's going to be a direct link that'll lead you straight back to your article. Okay. So we dove into the databases, we did some filtering, we narrowed and limited our search, we opened up a PDF article, we practiced using Control F to skim words and phrases within the article, and we learned how to zip the articles into our Google Drive. Let's see, let me go back to my slides. I was going to just remind you all about a couple of MLA style things. You're all AP literature, so this is probably old hat to you. But I always recommend, there are over 100 different citation styles. And when I worked at a college, I worked at 2 college writing centers. I worked with a lot of PhD candidates, and like the field of electrical engineering has its own citation style. And oftentimes students will get hung up on the citation style. And my best advice to you is whenever you need to use any kind of citation style, you go online. The online writing lab from Purdue is, I think, like the best resource out there. And you just find a sample essay in whatever format or style your professor is asking of you. And then you just mimic the style in that sample essay. So I just linked a sample MLA essay. I'm sure Mr. Johnson has given you a plethora of AP sample essays and MLA sample essays, but there's another one for you. And this one will give you text boxes about the format and how words are placed on the page and how to embed your direct quotations and your parenthetical citations and all that jazz. Usually I have students for practice as an exit ticket, open up a blank Google Doc and we create a works cited page together with the articles, the 2 articles that we found in class that day. I'll just give you one quick reminder on your works cited and on your works cited page is that you always, alphabetize by whatever hits the left-hand margin. Okay, so these are all put in alphabetical order. And most often you should have an author, but sometimes you don't for some reason. So the next thing that hits the left-hand margin is going to be the title of your article. And that's what you would cite inside of your essay. And I'm sure Mr. Johnson is going to be going over the MLA down the road. But I just want to say I am here for you. So I travel back and forth across the district every day. The easiest, fastest way to get a hold of me is to email me. And I've already done writing conferences. I'll sit down and proofread an essay for you. I'll help you embed your textual evidence. I'll help you find literary criticism articles. And I can meet you in the library at a time that's convenient for you in person. I've done that often already this school year. And I've also done I've hopped on a Google Meet. If that's easier for you, we can meet virtually and I can assist you with your essay. But there's all my contact information. So with that being said, reach out if you need me and good luck researching. Bye.